Hi guys, my name is Julianne Vaccaro. I'm here with Super Sister Fitness, and I'm here to give you 3 easy tips on how to get rid of bloating. So I don't know about you guys, but bloating was something that I struggled with for years, and that's why I help you get rid of it now. So if this is a hot topic for you, if you struggle, if this was helpful, please like the video, subscribe, and comment down below. So before I get into the tips, it's really important to first understand why gut health is so important and why it's the foundation for everything that happens in our body. So 70% of our immune system lies in the gut, and 90% of our neurotransmitters are in our gut as well. So a lot of times, especially what I see with clients and with women, is we have this really long list of symptoms, and it's covering things like PMS symptoms, acne, bloating, hair loss, low energy. There's just this really long list of symptoms, and what I find most of the time is people try to attack it from the outside and try to fix it externally when it's an internal problem. And our gut health is the foundation, and to really resolve all of that really long list of issues, we need to start from healing from the inside out. So again, our immune system starts in the gut. All disease begins in the gut. So let's first understand what our gut flora is. Our gut flora is a community of microorganisms that live in our digestive tract. And it's really important that we keep a healthy balance between the positive bacteria and the negative bacteria. And you want to keep that split in 85 to 15% ratio. So our gut flora stands up like this, and our villi. So what happens is when we have really good healthy gut bacteria and good gut microbiome, these villi are standing up and they're absorbing all of the nutrients and foods that are being passed through our body. But when we don't have good gut health, everything goes down and everything just passes through and nothing's getting absorbed. And so a lot of times a really big symptom of having poor gut health is bloat. But in addition to that, we're never full, we're always hungry, and we're just like this bottomless pit and having all of these negative cravings. So when you're this bottomless pit, you're just never satisfied. And so again, you try to feed it through this external fix of having more food, and maybe you're eating really healthy things. But if you are eating really healthy things and your gut microbiome is down, you're not going to absorb those nutrients, and so you're never gonna feel satisfied. All right, so I wanna first talk about leaky gut, because that's something that has been heard very often in media, especially on social media, and I wanna get super clear about what leaky gut is. So leaky gut is basically when our body is having an inflammatory response. So basically, when we eat food, our body tries to understand, is this a friend or is this a foe? Do we like this? Do we not like this? And so what happens is if we are constantly eating food and being bombarded with processed foods and things that are not healthy for our digestion, like gluten and dairy, that are filled with toxins and chemicals, our body doesn't know which is a friend or foe, and it starts to attack everything in the body. So it's even attacking the good stuff. And so your body starts to have this inflammatory response, and everything gets attacked, which can sometimes lead to autoimmune disease. So there's a lot of linkage between leaky gut and the cause of autoimmune disease. So in relation to bloating, a lot of times when I talk to clients, or when clients come into my business wanting to understand more about their bodies and why they're having the symptoms that they're having, bloating is usually that first thing. And so very often we're not super clear as to what is causing the bloat. Most of us are not clear as to what is bloating us. And that's because our path of digestion can take up to 72 hours. And so what you ate 3 days ago might not show up until today, and what you eat today might not show up until next hour, the next day, or 2 days. So it can take your body a little bit of time to process and for your body to have some kind of a response. So when it comes to bloating and really understanding your body, it's super important to really slow down and to be mindful of the things that you're eating and what's going on with your body as a whole, so that you can pinpoint exactly what is causing the bloating. So I don't like to give lists of this does work, this doesn't work. I don't like to have hard rules and hard restrictions, but it is important to understand the science and the education as to what foods will cause your body to have these kinds of negative reactions. And dairy and gluten are one of the 2 biggest top offenders when it comes to aggravating the body and throwing your gut microbiome out of balance. So before I give you the supplements that I recommend to help beat the bloat, I want to just first cover the food, because you can supplement all day and you can take all of these things, but if you're not being mindful of what you put in your body at a food level, then you're gonna still have these symptoms pile up. So tip number 1 is food. You have to be mindful of what you're eating and what your body likes and what your body does not like. So I'm gonna tell you right now, your body probably doesn't like gluten and dairy. It might tolerate it, it might be okay with it, but most of the times we don't know how good our body can feel until we clear these things out, and then we can actually feel how good we feel with these things out of our diet. And so gluten is probably one of the worst offenders because gluten has a protein called zonulin in it, which actually opens the tight junctions in our gut lining, which causes this inflammatory response. And there's only a few things that causes this tight junction to open in our gut, and zonulin is one of them, which comes from gluten. So gluten is one of those things that causes these symptoms in our body, and they show up differently for everybody, and that's a really important thing to be mindful of, is that these symptoms that come up for you are going to look different on somebody else. So dairy is also another one of those really big common allergens, because if you think about the processing of dairy, most of the times we're not getting organic dairy, we're not getting very good quality dairy. And so if you think about the cows that are going through this process, they're trying to produce as much milk as possible, and the farmers are creating this container for them to do that. And so they're being fed these hormones over and over to have this continuous turnover. And so all of the things that these animals are getting, we're getting, and we're ingesting ourselves. So when it comes to dairy, I recommend doing raw organic dairy. That's the easiest way and the cleanest one that you can get. And if you're interested in trying to go dairy-free, I highly recommend it. And keep a food mood journal when you do add it back in to really be mindful of how your body responds to that food added into your diet. So tip number 2 is a supplement recommendation. Probiotics are a must when it comes to keeping optimal function in the body and balancing out that 85 to 15% gut microbiome ratio. So probiotics are going to help put good bacteria back into the gut. Now, when you're looking for a probiotic supplement, you want to make sure that you're getting one that has at least 10 different strains of bacteria. So a lot of times what I see is the ones that are in the store only have 4, they have 3. You want to get ones that have a range, and you want to get the ones that have 10 and plus. If you are experiencing any kind of specific gut health imbalance or any kind of digestive issues, you can actually look up each kind of strain and see which one is more important for your process and for your healing. The second thing that you want to look at when you're choosing a probiotic supplement is how many active live cultures are in there, and you want to look for ones that have above 30 billion. So probiotics are the absolute top-notch supplement when it comes to adding good bacteria back into your body and balancing out your gut microbiome. So tip number 3 are additional supplements that you can take. So like I already mentioned, food is your number 1. Probiotics is like the king of your digestive supplements, but there are other ones that you can take to help balance out your gut. And my second recommendation is L-glutamine. L-glutamine is a phenomenal supplement for you to take to help heal the gut. L-glutamine is a great supplement to help rebuild the gut lining, and it's a fuel source for the cells in the small bacteria. So it helps rebuild and balance out your gut. My second tip for you for supplementation is to add in collagen. And you can get collagen in many different ways. That's why I like to use it as just like an umbrella supplement. You can get collagen in through bone broth, as in a soup. You can get collagen in through your bone broth protein powder. You can also have a collagen supplement, which is great for adding protein to your smoothies and to any of your meals. If you're vegan or vegetarian or are looking for another source of protein, I would highly recommend looking into a hemp protein or a vegan-based protein like a pea protein. So it's not gonna have that same healing effects for the gut as a collagen-based protein or a bone broth protein would, but it is much better than taking in any kind of artificial, low-quality supplement. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed these 3 tips for reducing bloating in 3 easy steps. I'm Julianne. You can find me down below through the links. If you like this information, you can find out more information about my programs and more about how I help women heal their gut through the Balanced Body Method in my links down below. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know any questions that you have. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get all of the notifications. Thank you so much, and I will catch you next week.